So JJK has been making waves in the anime community. The episodes of the Shibuya arc are probably some of the best anime we've had in a very long time. The stakes are high. It's really showing you that it is a complete contrast to what season 1 was. And even in season 1, we knew the stakes were there. For example, when Yuji tried to ask Sukuna to help him fight Mahito, kind of like how Naruto would with Kurama, Sukuna straight up declined, showing him that he is not his beck and call. He's not his lapdog or anything like that. And I'm really grateful for that part of the manga that Gege did, because it definitely opened my eyes that this isn't just another shonen. You know what I mean? This is definitely his own take on the typical storytelling of what a typical shonen is usually. But with Shibuya, we've had several life-changing events within the world of Jujutsu Kaisen. And the fights in Shibuya alone all carry their own weight. Now, at the time of me saying this, season 2 isn't done. There's still the ongoing fight with Yuji, Todo, and Mahito. And then there's a little something afterwards. But at the time of recording this, I think I picked out my personal favorite fight. Now, Shibuya has a lot of bangers. Don't get me wrong. They start off with a bang with Gojo versus the special grades in the subway tunnel. Yuji and Megumi versus the one old curse guy who was scared of Gojo. I can't think of his name. Like, there's a lot of good, like, fun fights in Shibuya, but some of them do carry a lot of weight. What a lot of people don't realize is that most of the time, manga fights don't really last that long. They may last at most maybe 3 to 4 chapters, and even then there's going to be panels in between with all types of exposition dumps and whatnot. But for the most part, animators have to kind of freestyle, and that's how we get some of our best anime moments, is when animators just freestyle a fight. So one of my personal favorite fights in Shibuya is kind of tied between two of them, and yes, that is cheating. I know it's cheating, but guess what? It's my video. You know, eat my ass. And they're both fights are from the same episode. It's going to be Toji versus Megumi, and it's going to be Sukuna versus Jogo. Those two fights are insane. I couldn't believe what I was watching when I was watching the episode. If you've been reading JJK, or if you even heard about the Shibuya arc before the episodes were coming out, you know that shit went down in Shibuya. And one of those things was Sukuna versus Jogo. Just displaying how outclassed every single other curse is compared to Sukuna. And a little foreshadowing, there is still a lot more to Sukuna that has met the eye, is all I'll say. Seeing him just thrash around Jogo, it's like reading the manga. It's like, don't get me wrong, Jogo was definitely getting thrashed around, but it's something about seeing it in motion, seeing how he didn't lay a fucking finger on him. Like, I don't know, reading the manga, I thought he had at least some type of fighting chance. Granted, I haven't read the Shibuya arc in like 2 years, so I'll probably have to go back and reread it. But seeing the way they were just fucking dogging him in that episode was crazy. Like, the part where Sukuna just, he did that little T-pose thing, and he chopped off Jogo's arms in like a split second, and then jump scared us, and then kicked him through that fucking building. That shit was insane. And don't even get me started on the part where he grabbed him by the face and slammed him all the way down to ground level from a skyscraper. That shit was fucking insane. Another great moment from that fight was when Jogo was charging up his ultimate curse technique. That's what I call it, the meteor attack. And Sukuna's just sliding around the highway, and he pulls up on Panda and the others, and it's like, don't y'all fucking move. Y'all move, it's raps. It's grits. It's over for y'all. Sukuna has so many cold moments in the next couple episodes afterwards alone that really made me realize that, bro, I really fuck with this character, bro. And look, I get it. He's evil incarnate. He is not a good character. Like, he's not like a good person, I should say. He's a curse after all, so of course he's not gonna be a good person. But he really showed us, and I hope the rest of the anime onlys, that he is him. And trust me, there's a lot more of him to come. So if you thought that was crazy, just wait till they animate the most recent arc. Now, the other fight that I do remember fairly well from the manga is Toji versus Megumi, because I remember the fight in the manga not being as dragged out as it was in the anime. And not to say dragged out in a negative term, but it did all this extra cool shit. Look, the The two-piece Megumi was getting inside that abandoned building, and then his top dog, his sidekick, his ride or die, the fucking rabbit, him pulling up and trying to at least do something to Toji, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot more than any other anime side characters or pets do for a master, you know what I'm saying? Like, him pulling up and at least swinging at him, you know, you got to give respect to that, bro. And like I said, like, that's a top moment for me, and that's not in the manga. That is 100% animators freestyling, and thank God for it. But the animators just showing how strong Toji is without pushing it out of the realm of in-canon lore was perfect, because it equals out to Toji would probably be able to fight like this. Slamming in the ground and then fucking shooting up debris and killing every single rabbit in there was insane. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when he was fighting Megumi in the street and he fucking threw that truck at him, I was like, okay, hold on. This is a Toji that is not holding back whatsoever. Like they said, he lives purely for the fight. And hearing that from the narrator was kind of bone chilling, because also a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen is a lot of the storytelling is from the narrator through like thought bubbles and stuff. And for most of the time in a lot of anime, they don't transfer that over. A lot of JJK explanations is through the thought bubble. So not having that is kind of doing it a disservice, because you can't really fully grasp the weight of a situation just by the actions alone going on in the scene. So I'm really grateful that they did decide to have a narrator narrate those things, because it definitely also adds hype to the story as well. Hearing how he was just like a soulless vessel of chaos that only aims to fight the strongest thing walking around and on to the next was some of the coldest shit I think I've ever heard. And also for him to pick out Megumi, because in lore, Megumi being a 10 Shadows user makes him extremely fucking dangerous. Having that in the back of my head, watching him trying to square up with his son, was like, bro, this shit is hype, bro. This shit is fucking heat. And of course, we get to the end of the fight, which is basically 1-for-1 in the manga. It's almost insane how perfect the animators understand Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, it's almost as if Gege was in the studio with them, telling them, okay, when I wrote this scene, this is how I wanted it to play out. So I gotta give hats off to Mappa. And of course, Shibuya is not over yet. Every episode in season 2 is almost a banger. People keep saying when episode drops once a week that, oh, this is the best episode. Oh no, this is the best episode. Spoiler alert, every episode in Shibuya is good. I'm just gonna let you know that. It's a fully great arc. I mean, sure, there are some flaws, like, for example, some characters getting off with almost little to no development or no attachment from the viewer to them. There's a lot of that, and there's also a lot of that coming up in the future arcs as well. There's definitely a couple characters who's like, I don't give two shits about them. Boo-hoo, cry at the wall. But I gotta say, these two fights definitely gave me the feeling that I had when I was reading the manga, and that's almost all that I could ask for.